Hello BDM world. Today I'm going to share my own basic destroyer combo tips and tricks. Later, I'm going to replay some old PvP video clips to demonstrate them. This one is basically suitable for new players who wants to create a destroyer and start enjoying it on arena. Take note that these tips and tricks are not the best. There will always be something better out there, so copy this one at your own risk. But first things first, I'm going to share some terms which I will use over and over again on this video and future PvP video guides like this one. So these are some of the terms. Number one is punish. When I say punish, it's a series of attacks or combo being done to you or vice versa. Then counter skills, skills that enables you to retaliate or stop punishment. Then initiate skills, skills that enables you to set up your own combo and deal punishment to the enemy. So I will give example for this counter and initiate skill later for the spoiler. And then window of immunity, a state where you're immune to abnormal status like bound, knockdown, etc. for a certain period of time, but you can still be grabbed. Usually this happens when you are lying on the floor, when you just got knocked down or bound. So I think less than 2 seconds you are immune to abnormality. And then I will give a brief introduction to the destroyer skills that I'm using in PvP. So I'm only using 4 active skills, which is this one, and then 1 buff. So that's it. And I mentioned earlier that about counter and initiate skills. So first, initiate skill. As a destroyer, you will have to initiate skill. Number 1 is the fire bump. So if you do fire bump and forward step fire bump, so if you move forward then fire bump, see, it becomes an initiate skill. Or dodge then fire bump. Okay, so forward step plus fire bump. Another initiate skill of a destroyer is the slugfest. So if you notice, if I cast slugfest, the animation is like instant. The moment you press it, he will immediately start punching. And the good thing about slugfest is that the initial hit is daze. That's why it's a good initiate skill. Usually I combine slugfest and fire bump together. So forward step fire bump followed by slugfest. Or you can do dodge and then slugfest. So this one I will demonstrate later on video clips. Then another term that I mentioned is counter skills. So good thing about destroyer, it also has 2 counter skills, which is the same as the initiate skill. Still fire bump and slugfest. You can use them to counter enemies, which will be demonstrated later on. So both of these skills are have fast animation and they will inflict stun and daze on first hit. Okay. Now let's go to the main combo. The combo tips and tips for a destroyer. first tip, number 1 is the Destroyer main combo, which is Hellraiser touch upon landing, but it's optional, depends where your enemies are. Followed by Firebomb, then Slugfest, followed by To the Grave, then another Firebomb, then Dodge, then Hellraiser. Basically, Into the Grave will be your punch speed. So to demonstrate that, use a flip. So Firebomb, then Slugfest. Another one, so Hellraiser followed by Firebomb, Slugfest, then To the Grave, another Firebomb, Dodge, and then repeat. So Destroyer is actually easy to use. See, then repeat again. So that's my main combo as a Destroyer. Then on my second tip, Destroyer initiation. So you can do it in a few ways. Number 1 is Firebomb. So forward should be a forward step, then followed by Slugfest. And then another one is dodge forward first, and then if the enemy is very far, so you can do one dodge forward first, followed by Firebomb forward, and then another dodge, then Slugfest. Another scenario is dodge forward or double dodge, then Slugfest, then into the grave. So the main thing here is the Firebomb and Slugfest are in combo together. Then you can insert dodge in between or after that. So it depends on the scenario. And here are some clips. See, okay, dodge, then Firebomb, Slugfest. Dodge, then Slugfest, then into the grave. See, so upon landing. Okay, so you see what I did, forward cast Firebomb so that I can be near the enemy, just enough to have the range of the Slugfest. Stun, then into the grave, then another Firebomb, then I'm going to fly. So another scenario is this one again. So Firebomb moving forward, followed by Slugfest. So if you observe this Slugfest, so it has a very fast animation. The first hit has a very fast animation, so it's always impossible for the opponent to get away. Followed by Slugfest, then Firebomb again. Oops. See? So the enemy is running, so I can do dodge in, followed by forward Firebomb, followed by Slugfest. So Destroyers are very tricky, and they are very tricky opponent. So Destroyer depends on using these two skills for initiation, the Firebomb and the Slugfest. Double dodge, and then see, Slugfest. So the first hit's really fast. That means you'll be able to disable the enemy before he can even attack you. Followed by into the grave, then fly. See, so it's very good on a enemy that's running. So dodge in, another dodge in, so then followed by Slugfest. See, then into the grave. Okay. Then the third tip will be Destroyer counters. So you can do this again in a few ways. So while lying on the floor, you can do fire bomb forward or backward. Depends where the position of your enemy, followed by slug fest. Another scenario, while standing and being punished, you can do fire bomb, then slug fest again. Or you can do dodge roll first, then so that you can observe where your enemy is at, the position of your enemy, followed by fire bomb and then slug fest. Or simply dodge roll, fire bomb, and dodge roll, slug fest. So to demonstrate this, use a few clips. So if you see, I've been stunned, but the opponent failed to do some follow-up. So I capitalized that one by doing fire bomb, forward step, followed by slug fest. Then this one, I'm lying on the floor. So fire bomb, followed by slug fest. And into the grave, punish. So this one, did a dodge roll first, then fire bomb, followed by slug fest. So even if he escaped the disable of fire bomb, the follow up for the slug fest, mostly they won't be able to escape. Into the grave, fire bomb, then okay, this one, knock down again, fire bomb, followed by slug fest. So this one, as you can see, the enemy is quite far. I've been knocked down and the enemies a little bit far. So you can do fire bomb. Okay, so if you notice, I was still able to catch him with this amount of distance. The fire bomb were still able to catch the attacker. Fire bomb. So followed by slug fest. Even if let's say the fire bomb did not failed to disable the opponent and he started running away, you can still chase him, dodge in, then followed by slug fest. So this one, dodge roll, then slug fest. So yeah, so you can do dodge roll, then slug fest. Like I said, the slug fest, the first hit is very fast, making it ideal to counter enemies. And then the last tip, is called the superhero delaying tactics. Basically, the fire bomb or slug fest or into the grave, simple lang. You can just use the flying skill. Because by the time you land, these 3 skills are already in finished cooling down. So, to demonstrate this one, here are some clips. So here, you can see that my 2 initiate encounter skills are cooling down. So, once I fly, by the time I land, they're finished cooling down already. Then, just in time to use them again. This one's another one. So, cool down, but I can fly. So, by the time I land and do 1 double dodge, okay, the fire bomb is finished cooling down again. Okay. So, those are the basic combo tips that I can share as a destroyer. So why I use slug fest, lastly why I use into the grave as a punish skill, because to the grave, this one's using ahip, and when the ahip procs, it's very effective in PvP once this chance to cause extra damage procs. And this one is 5 hits. So among those 5 hits, 1 or 2 may proc, and if that happens, it's a heavy punishment for the enemy. So that's it for my basic guide on destroyer combo tips and tricks. So just a friendly tip, don't think highly of yourself or over too confident when you're doing arena, so that you don't get frustrated. There will always be that someone who is better than you, or a class that is a counter to your class or your playstyle. So just enjoy it, stay away from frustration, and keep on learning. Thank you and bye bye.